YouTube is Rico, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on, man. We got Houston rapper Obe Noir chased down and shot to death, man. So y'all already know what time it is. If you're brand new to the channel, then make sure you hit that subscribe button at the end of the day if you haven't already, man. And also make sure you smash the like button and comment on this video. Help this video get recommended to a larger audience of people, as well as tell your friends and family about us, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel and enjoy this type of content. And also, when y'all do that, make sure y'all turn on y'all post notifications to know when we upload every single day. Now, I will say this. YouTube, that post notification button sometimes does not always work, so you guys will have to check our channel at least every 2 to 3 hours just to see if we uploaded, because 9 times out of 10 we uploaded a video, man, and we upload every single day. The only time we don't upload is a 0.1% chance. So other than that, that's all you need to know, so y'all know for sure that we upload every single day. But on those days we don't upload, then that's for a good reason, so expect the next day a double upload to happen. But other than that, man, that's officially get ready to get this video started. So start with the screen record. That started, and we starting the video now.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I know about this rapper at all, but I'm gonna have to definitely go check out his music and stuff and see what's going on with him, man. And I hate, like I said, I hate finding out about artists the wrong way and stuff, and then have to go finally check out their music and stuff. I'd rather hear about them while they alive and check them out, but sometimes it be like that.
It's 10 out of J, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me, and for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Houston, Texas rapper Obe Noir and how he was just chased and gunned down. Now, the state of Texas has been making back-to-back headlines in the last few months for multiple shootings and deaths revolving around the hip-hop community. It was only back in November when Dallas rapper Mo3 was chased down on the interstate.
Yeah, Texas is definitely going through it with the rappers, man. Chicago and Houston lately just been going crazy with the deaths to rappers and stuff. So, man, I don't know what it is, but just sad, man. It's crazy.
And shot in the back of his head. Then days later, Louisiana superstar Boosie Badass was in Dallas paying respects to the fallen rapper when he was shot in his leg.
Yeah, they going crazy out there too, man. Atlanta and Texas pretty much going crazy with the ways they're trying to kill rappers and stuff. Cause you got Atlanta a hotbed for rappers dying out there. Then you got Texas as well that's killing rappers, whether they want to come up or blowing up and stuff like that. So, man, it's just crazy. And they even try to get Lil Boosie. So you already know it's really real out there for sure when it comes to the streets, period. They got a lot of stuff going on, and they taking care of anybody, and they don't care who it is. They trying to get you knocked off, period.
March 5th, 2021, Houston rapper Chucky Trill was shot and killed in Atlanta when another vehicle pulled up beside the one he was in on the interstate and opened fire. And the newest attack took place March 8th, only 3 days after Chucky was killed. Houston police responded to reports of a shooting in the 2900 block of Fannin Street around 3:40 in the morning. Witnesses spoke with investigators describing a man running down the street after hearing gunfire in the distance. A vehicle was chasing after him when it stopped. And
yeah, it's crazy because you would think at that time of the morning most people would be asleep, man. But that just goes to show you, man, no matter what time you out and about, and especially if you got some type of celebrity status, you can still end up in a potential situation like that at the end of the day, because you just never know who really up around that type of time, period. So it's crazy that this happened super early in the morning. And I know late in the afternoon during daylight and stuff, this happened early in the morning, a.m. Like, who really be out there on that type of time on that? So it's crazy. I'll never understand it, but hey,
two people got out firing at the man, who was then shot multiple times. The man collapsed in the street, and the shooters quickly drove off. The man who was shot would never get back up and was pronounced dead at the scene. He was identified as 31-year-old Xavier Robinson, more commonly known as Houston rapper Obe Noir. What comes as a shock is the majority of those killed within the rap game practice what they preach. And what I mean by that is very few rappers haven't spoke on killing in their lyrics. And it comes as less of a shock when they die, knowing that's what comes with the lifestyle they lived or portrayed. But when it comes to Obe Noir, reports say he was known as the Nipsey Hussle of East Texas and was well.
Now that's a big recognition right there for sure, because we already know what Nipsey Hussle was about and what he did for his part of the city and stuff, for Crenshaw and stuff like that. So if he known as that out there in Texas, then that means he was somebody that was very well respected and had a lot going on and stuff. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show you, man, no matter who you is and what type of respect and recognition you got in the streets, anybody could pretty much try to knock you off and damn near succeed sometimes, well, pretty much majority of the time. Because at the end of the day, y'all know how gun violence is out here. People ain't using no regular little pistols and stuff all the time. They using stuff that's going to do damage, and that's sometimes most likely a semi-automatic to a fully automatic, period. They don't care about none of that extra stuff. They just want to make sure you knocked out the way by any means necessary. So they're going to come at you with the best of the top of the best weapons, period.
Known throughout the Third Ward for his community activism. Obe Noir was a brick boy, born and raised in the CUNY Homes housing projects known as the Bricks, the same place George Floyd called home. The Bricks is Houston's oldest housing project, opening back in 1938, and has since then withheld a deadly reputation. But that didn't stop.
1938? I mean, they went through a lot of changes. They did a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, just got a whole violent history behind it, and that's sad. That's crazy. All the way from 1938 to now, and they've been known to have violent history like that. I'm surprised they ain't go ahead and just say, we're going to knock these down and make a new project somewhere elsewhere, or get these people pretty much spread it out to different locations with housing authorities or whatever the case is, et cetera, et cetera.
Obe, who made his way into international basketball, playing for a professional Colombian team and becoming an MVP player. But I say that to say this: none of that matters. Where you're from, who you were, or who you've become. Bullets don't differentiate the good from the bad. Bullets don't consider your accomplishments before tearing through your flesh. And the ones aiming the guns could care less. No matter what type of energy you...
I already said this in plenty of videos. I'm going to say it again. Come to violence, especially street violence. Violence does not discriminate age, the innocence of a person, or whether they is the right person that they're after. And the shooters that do these crimes and stuff, they don't care no more. They really don't. As long as they get you, they don't care, period. And they can damn near shoot up another house or another person that had nothing to do with the situation and everything. And they really don't care. So at the end of the day, violence would never be the discrimination thing, period. It's gonna happen to anybody and whoever is in the way. It don't matter.
Put out into the world, you have to understand there are people with different and darker mentalities looking for a reason to snap and kill. And unfortunately, Obe Noir fell victim to the streets. Now, this is a case like many where there's no motive in the beginning. It usually takes time for things to come out, the reasons behind what's going on. With Mo 3, there was more rumors circulating around his death because he was into it with other rappers, versus with Obe. I mean, who the fuck is he into it with other than the police, the protesting that he's done against the police? You know what I mean? Like, to hear that he was an activist, to hear that he was doing good in the community, it just hits harder because it's undeserved. Not to say that other deaths are deserved, but just when you... So
pretty much what I'm hearing is he really didn't have no problems at the end of the day. This basically sounds like it was just a case of at the wrong place at the wrong time, and somebody who just randomly was on that type of time, and they ultimately chose him to be that person that's gonna take the consequences of that. So that's crazy, man. I ain't even know this about him. I ain't know he was an activist and protesting and all that stuff. So yeah, it sounded like he really wasn't really into it with anybody. He was just doing his music and whatever else, but he wasn't trying to start problems with anybody. He wasn't even entertaining beefs with anybody or anywhere. So if that's the case, then it just sounds like it was pretty much he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he came across a person that was just looking for trouble at the end of the day. Crazy.
You have two different types of people, one doing good, one doing bad. Who are you going to feel bad for the most? But everything is a lesson in life, and everything is meant to be learned from. I'm assuming he doesn't have a criminal record based on the fact that nothing in his history that popped up reported it. Normally the news are the first ones to report, oh, he went to prison for this, he got arrested.
Yeah, they waste no time, man. They do not waste no time. They'll tell a whole life story down there of the bad that you done. They don't care about the good at all. They'll just only mostly talk about, oh, this person was a part of this gang, this happened in the recent past, such and such had this happen, a murder, and all type of crazy stuff. They'll talk about that, but they won't talk about the good you did. So if the news ain't saying nothing like that, then yeah, I mean, he was really somebody that wasn't trying to start problems with anybody, wasn't into the beefs, and wasn't in the streets going crazy and just getting arrested back to back and all type of crazy stuff. So it sounded like he was just pretty much doing what a regular average citizen would do, is pretty much be to yourself, just focus on yourself, doing everything that don't involve getting into trouble with other people and stuff like that. So it's crazy, man. Except the police, because of the protesting. We already know how police and individuals and that stuff is feeling about that. Like once you protest against the police, they pretty much look at you as an enemy down there, because majority of those people is somewhat bad in a way, like whether they got racism going on or they just pretty much hate a certain nationality for whatever reason. It's pretty much racism at the end of the day. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just leave it at that, racism. We already know. So that's the only thing that could really say he had problems with anybody who was the police at the end of the day.
For that, and if he wasn't involved in any of the street bullshit, living in Texas, I would imagine he would be able to legally carry a weapon, carry a firearm, right? Gun rights. It's one of the most important fucking things that I speak on, is if you have the ability to legally carry a gun, do so. You may not be able to cheat death, but you do have the chance to fight.
Exactly, and I'll definitely say that too, man. If you got the chance to legally carry, definitely do it. Sure, because I'll do it. I don't leave nowhere without it. I'd rather go out with it rather than going out without it. So y'all definitely just make sure if you legally can, carry. Because you never know how it is out there and who you might come across during your day taking care of business and stuff. Some people just be on that type of time, and it don't matter if you known to be into it with anybody or not. Violence is just going to find you if it really wants to. At the end of the day, that's how I look at it.
Back. And I mean, Texas has been brutal nonstop. Literally, before his shooting, either the day before, a pregnant woman was shot at a wake. At a funeral service, a pregnant woman was shot. Like, they're not sparing nothing down there. And the only way you can fight fire is with fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that really think they can call 911 before something happens. And these are the same people I tell, have you ever been in a car accident? Did you have your belt on? Were you able to put it on before you crashed? There's usually not enough time to do something like that. People need to take on the responsibility of defending themselves, of being armed, because there are other people out there that are armed. And for the laws that are trying to strip citizens of guns, it's fucking ridiculous, because no matter how many laws there are, I can always illegally get a gun.
Exactly, and that's the crazy thing. So to be honest, these laws be crazy where they be trying to say, oh, you can't get a firearm, this and that, et cetera, et cetera. It makes no sense, because at the end of the day, a lot of the gangs and stuff is getting them guns illegally. So what is the laws even in for if they're still getting guns? I can see if you got the laws in place, but now it's hard for people to actually get guns illegally and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, guess what? It's easy to get guns no matter what. So I don't even see the point of the laws when it's really not doing anything or stopping anybody from getting a gun. Especially look at the UK. UK got a gun laws in place where you really can't get no type of guns except shotguns or for whatever reason. I forgot people were saying because of protecting like farmland or something. It was something around that measures where you pretty much to a certain extent could have a shotgun, a whole shotgun, not a pistol or any other type of guns, but a shotgun. So I don't see why that law makes any sense over there. And I'm pretty sure my UK people, if they watch this video, could say, yeah, it makes no sense why we got gun laws out here when you could still pretty much easy as well as anybody else get a gun, period. So it really don't make no sense. The legal people that don't have a crime history, let alone have a violent crime history, should be able to have a gun. Because at the end of the day, you never know what type of people these people will come across. Because you don't want to be that person where, oh, I follow the rules, even though I ain't got no violent crime history or any type of crime history at all, I can't own a gun. And now I pretty much got to be forced to fight with my hands versus somebody that probably got an illegal gun and can shoot me. So it really makes no sense at the end of the day, man. So they definitely need to change these laws, and that's everywhere. Everybody and everywhere, as far as if you're a legal person that's able to legally own a gun, be able to have one, period. If you got a felony or anything of that nature, then of course those people shouldn't have guns, and you should pretty much be stricter on how guns are always getting bought somewhere illegally. So y'all definitely need to tighten up on that instead and not penalize the good with the bad, because at the end of the day, the good are being targeted just as much as the bad. So it's crazy, man. At the end of the day, legal people should be able to protect themselves and own a gun, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Anybody can illegally get a gun. You're only making it harder for people that are trying to do things in a legal way. And I don't think Obe was on the level of being in a position where he can pay for security. He probably didn't feel that he needed to pay for security. But to take on that responsibility for yourself and have your own sense of security by being armed, if you're a law-abiding citizen, it's the right move to fucking make. I'm sure in the next few days or even weeks, we're going to be hearing more about this case. More details are going to come out. Camera footage, if there is any more witness reports, etc. I'm sure that they're already looking for the vehicle and the two shooters that were involved in this case. But like I said, it's another example of you can do everything right and you can still get left on the ground bleeding out.
Exactly, man. Like I said, violence don't discriminate against the innocent at all. The bullets going after anybody, and no matter who you is, how old you is, if you a female or a male, or if you following the laws or you're not following the laws, at the end of the day, they can still get you and hurt you and potentially kill you. And that's just the sad, simple truth at the end of the day.
The streets are unforgiving and they've always been that way. And if you can redirect your life now to get as far away from it as possible, you have a better chance of not falling victim. But hey, it's 10 out of Jake.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much the end of the video. And like he said, if you can, definitely get out the hood. Even though you might be a hood person or somebody that grew up in the ghettos and stuff, that don't make you a bad person by trying to live the right way and getting out the hood and going to a neighborhood like the suburbs and stuff and living a better lifestyle, or at least attempt to live a better life, etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a situation where you constantly got to watch over your back or worry about somebody running up on you or trying to do something to you and stuff and pretty much take your life from you down there and stuff. And you don't also want to be put in a situation where you got to risk your freedom. So say you somebody that was able to get money like a rapper or whatever the case is, but you got a crime history and stuff, being locked up and all that stuff. So say you somebody like that, you trying to at least change and stuff and not be put in a situation where you're down there risking going to jail and stuff because you're a legal person that could get a gun illegally and stuff like that, and then now you fighting gun charges and all that type of stuff because you gotta worry about somebody running up on you and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it don't matter if you in self-defense or not, as long as you a person that's been locked up in jail for violent crimes or anything of that nature and stuff, you pretty much gonna get a charge regardless, and they don't care. So that's just the simple way to explain it. So at the end of the day, try to move out the hood so you don't be put in a situation like that. But still, if you legally can, own a weapon. Because like I said, violence don't discriminate, and it don't discriminate at the location either, because they gunning people down in public places. Y'all already seen places like you already seen situations like King Von, FBG Duck, Tupac, who else? Biggie. A lot of people, man. Violence does not discriminate, and it don't discriminate where it happens. But if you move to the suburbs, you at least have a higher chance of not having to really watch over your back and be put in a situation where you gotta use your firearm. So that's just something to think about, man. But that's the end of this video, man. Cause we can keep going on and on, but that ain't this type of video. But other than that, man, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new, man. And I'm gonna see y'all later on with more videos. And don't forget to turn your post notifications on, like I said earlier. And check our channel every 2 to 3 hours just in case the post notifications don't work, because you don't want to miss out when we upload. Other than that, see y'all later on. Peace.